Welcome to this week's Dream Car judging video here at BOTB. We'd now like to hand over to today's lawyer from Onside Law who'll oversee the proceedings.
My name's Nathan Chambers from Onside Law and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that the competition data has already been sent to the auditing company Assets. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. The group will then come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name's Matt Cannon. I'm a senior county referee and footballer.
Hello, my name's Wendy Martin. I previously played for Tottenham Hotspur Ladies and currently play beach soccer for England and Team GB.
I'm Nigel Hicks. I've been a Supply League match official for over 30 years and I'm an experienced football administrator.
Hi, my name is Aaron Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Good morning. I am Peter Giorgio. I am a futsal and football referee.
Good morning. My name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional football player, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle, and Fulham.
Good morning. My name's Hugh Gilroy. I'm a referee, a mentor, a tutor, and observer.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee and coach. I'm currently keeping active as a matchday referee observer.
Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your reference, the larger white cross is a calculated average of the 8 individual sections.
Thank you very much, Nathan. Good morning, everybody. Before I draw some lines in, I'm going to come to you, Liam. There's your pink cross that's magnified there, sort of in the middle of this of the group of 8 choices. Could you explain what we're seeing in the photograph, trajectory of the ball, and then lastly, how you reached your decision, please?
Thanks. Good morning, Matt. 2 players in shot today and 5 eager spectators, may I add. I feel that both players are on the ground, and I feel that also the ball is dropping vertically in towards them. It's possibly a secondary bouncing ball, something like that. Regards who is favourite to win it, it's a 50-50 for me. I think they're both sort of looking to, the arms show that they're both looking to try and outmuscle each other in an attempt to win the ball with maybe just a little nod on header. Regards where to get my cross, both players looking up, both players brows furrowed, arched eyebrows, which gives height to the ball, and their heads are back. Clear eyes, albeit only one eye from the guy in red, as you're focusing on him now. That's great. And then obviously 2 clear eyes from the guy, his opponent. And I just went with them, used a little bit of head angle, and that's where I crossed this morning.
Great, thanks, Liam. So I'll draw some lines in first from this player in black. Fairly narrow view up from him. A bigger spread from the player in red. So I'm going to work my way up. So Nigel, there's your yellow cross magnified. What did you see?
Thanks, Matt. Good morning, everyone. So for me, I felt the players were just on the rise of starting their jump. So I think that I felt that it looked like they'd already made contact with each other. We got arms across each other's bodies trying to stop the other one from jumping. But I felt they're on the way up and in the air. As far as head angle goes, as Liam's already mentioned, so both heads are tilted back, looking up. Initially, I did wonder if the player in red was looking slightly higher, but when I put the magnifier over his eye, I think it's the eyelashes at the top of his head, at the top of his eye, that make it look as though the eyes may be looking steeper than it is. I feel it's looking pretty much flat out from his head, so I took that angle from his head tilted back, and crossed that with the player in black, who we've got 2 good eyes on. We can see the angle that he's looking up as there. So slightly, I feel the ball's slightly closer than some of my colleagues have put it, but as I say, I feel that's really because they're already on the rise, and I think the ball's imminent to be met. As far as a favourite is concerned, I think it's 50-50, could go either way.
50-50. Lovely. Thank you. Coming to you next, Harry. There's your blue cross there, just below Liam's. What did you see in the photo?
I felt that the ball definitely in between them. I think it's a second rebounds, as Liam said, dropping vertically to them. Firstly, I thought the player in red would have just a tiny bit of a advantage because he already has his right arm on top of the left shoulder of player in black. But then I can see that the player in black, seeing that coming, is already has his right hand approaching the shoulder of player in red when he starts jumping. So I think as well is going to be a 50-50. We have two clear eyes from player in black. I drew an extra line in between his eyes just to get to the center of it. Both heads tilted. When I drew my line, I felt that I was comfortable that the ball should be where it is.
Great, thank you. And then moving over to my own, my red cross there that's magnified. Yeah, I saw it as a contested ball, but I'm of the opinion that the player in black's the favourite for me. I think the ball is dropping in. Not sure, personally, I think it's a secondary ball. I think it's just sort of dropping in slightly right to left. And the reason I say that, I think this player in black, he's got a very focused expression on the ball. And I just think he's muscling the player in red away from the ball. He's got him in control. He's got his arm up. He's just taking him away. So it's contradicting what Harry's just said about the red player with the arm on him. I think he's the guy in the black has got his shoulder over him, is just pushing him out of the way. And I think he's just going to head the ball back out again. And I took his two eyes up, really up in front of him, the ball slightly in the foreground to the player in black. And I had a look at the player in with the red with his one good eye, and that's cross-reference where I came to my decision. So that's me. A bit further up, working our way up. We've got you, Alain. That's your purple cross that's magnified there. How did you see it?
Yeah, no, yeah, similar. I think it's a second ball dropping right between the two players. I think the ball is sort of equidistant between the two players. Slight advantage to the player in black too. I think, to me, it seems more grounded. It seems more focused. Also, he seems to be also, slightly taller than the other player. And on top of that, he's got his elbow between him and the other player, so he can push him away by extending his elbow. So yeah, I think maybe more the playing back as a favorite to hit the ball. But yeah, both players are looking very steeply, head backwards. Yeah, it's a question, I guess, of height. I think we all agree in it's quite a narrow band between vertically. It's a question of height. I think they're looking quite steeply. Therefore, I put my cross quite high.
Yeah, thank you very much. And just a little bit to the right, a little bit higher up is yours, Peter. There's your orange cross there as we get a bit further away from the players. How did you see the photo?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Yes, I agree that the ball is dropping vertically down towards the two players. Both jostling for the ball. You could argue either way. What Harry was saying about the player in red on his way up across the player in black with his left arm, or like you said, Matt, in regards to the player in black, shoving the player in red with his left arm. So with that in mind, I've gone in between the two players, and with regard to the height of the ball, like Alan said, it's just where you think the intersection is. So two good eyes from the player in black, one eye that we can see very clearly from player in red. So where those two intersected, that's where I placed my centre of the ball.
Thank you very much. Moving up, just next height up is yours, Wendy, your green cross there that's magnified. How did you get to your position?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. I think similar to yourself, actually. I think that the player in black is favourite to win the ball. I think both players are tussling for the ball, but he just seems a lot sort of more balanced and maybe sort of a lot stronger in his position. Both players are looking very steeply. And I just sort of took a line from where I felt that their eyes both met. So heads are back and they're both sort of looking up. So drew lines from both players and then where those eye lines met. And I think neither player is off the floor. I think both players are on the floor. So that's why, again, I've gone a little bit higher as well because I don't think both players have got their eyes wide open, very focused. So I didn't feel that the ball was actually sort of that close at the moment.
Yeah, lovely. And last but not least is yours, Hugh. You're just ever so slightly to the left and a little bit higher than Wendy's. What did you see?
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, similar to be honest. I think the player in black with his right hand, I think when that comes onto the shoulder, he's going to be in a better position. So I think both are tussling, trying to get that kind of upper hand, and I think he's probably gonna win that. I agree with Wendy. I think it's still got to drop a little bit of distance, and also I think they're both grounded. They haven't yet started to jump up and meet this. So whilst they're looking really steeply up, I think it's going to drop slightly, and they're going to jump to try and play this. So I think it's still got that height, and there's a lot of white under the eyes, and both of their heads are really far back. That tells me it's high up above both of them. So yeah, for me, player in black favourite to win it, but still a little distance before he meets it.
Yeah, thank you. So we've got a sort of a split opinion, really. Of there's the majority actually thinks the black player is going to be the favourite if we include Alan switch, contested ball, but he thinks the black player may well win out. And there's 50-50, and we've got the majority of us thinking where the ball is going to be won by the player in black. The ball's dropping in, and the rest is sort of all bouncing ball, secondary ball of some sort. And as has been talked about, there's quite there's sort of a plume of our choices. And if I hover over this magnifier over the calculated average, you see we've got 2 above Wendy and Hughes that's outside, and Nigel below that's also outside. Now, if I removed all of those, you see it ends up in this position, encompassing all 5 of us. However, sorry, I'm just going to park this over here, just out the way for now. So if I hover over this new calculated average with the 3 out of the way, you see that's the position it's in. If I put Wendy, Nigel, and Hughes back in, it doesn't shift an awful lot. It shifts a bit further up. So I'm going to come and see as a panel whether indeed you do want to have the judges who are outside this magnifier, i.e. Wendy and Hugh at the top and Nigel at the bottom, removed to shift the average as shown there, which shifts it up a little bit. I'll get rid of Hugh as well. I'm not suggesting that's what we're going to do, but if we have a little vote and see whether you're happy with either 3 being taken out or indeed all 8 choices taken into consideration, we can have another discussion. So it's really all 3 out for me, or we leave this calculated average. So Wendy, I'm going to come to you first.
It's a tricky one. I think with those options, I'd keep them in and keep the average as it is. I do feel Nigel's is really too low. I think the players' heads are a lot further back than that. So personally, I probably would have taken that out. I think, and then myself and Hugh would sort of be within touching distance of the average as well, and it would sort of be a little bit higher. But I think with the options you've proposed, I'll keep the average as it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's have a look at that. I'm not for 1 minute saying that anything else that cannot be discussed. So that's what you've said is with Nigel being removed and the calculated average obviously moves up really close to Alain's, and then we've got 3 of us touching at the top and the bottom. Okay. So Nigel, what do you think?
Thanks, Matt. So yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to see it the same way as you. I think that the policies we've applied in the past, it would either be the 3 out or the 3 in. I think if we, I personally can't see it as high as some have put it, but I accept it's a consensus, and I think it's better with a consensus of 8 than the consensus of 5, which puts it largely back in the same place. So I would keep everyone in today.
Thank you. Ari?
I would also keep everyone in. I think 8 is better than 5.
Yeah. Peter?
I'm actually with Wendy on this one. I don't believe Nigel's reflects where I think the ball should be. The fact that we got 2 on the apex, almost on top of each other. So I would have Nigel's removed.
Okay, thank you. Alain?
Yeah, no, I would agree in the way that I think Nigel's cross is slightly low to me. But I think if we remove Nigel's, we'll remove the top 2. But I think as the other judges, I think better to have 8 than 5. So I will keep everyone, and also like the position of the average.
Okay, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with Wendy as well. I think a couple of reasons. One, I don't see it as that low. Just the player in black for me is he's looking up, and if it was that close, obviously it's 3D, so it's not going to be exactly there. But I think they'd have started to move their foreheads towards meeting this. Second reason is I think when it's removed, when you did that briefly, it actually sits with kind of mine and Wendy's at the top, and then the 3 at the bottom kind of offset with Peter's in the middle. So I think that then becomes similar to what we've had before. We've got a couple at the top, a couple at the bottom. So I would say that would be my opinion.
Okay, and Liam?
Yes. Okay. So I'm usually of the choice that you try and keep everybody in, because I've always said in the past, the more input you've got. But I've looked at this, and I've got to be honest. I agree with Wendy and what Hughes just said. I just think Nigel's just a little bit low, and if you would hover on his cross for me, I can sort of, if you wouldn't mind, Matt. I'm not trying to pinch your job. I just wonder how the guy in the black kit is seeing the ball there. So that's just my point of view on that. And also, if you do remove Nigel, it just brings it up a little bit. It gives it a balance between Hughes and Wendy's, and then us 3 below, and then the 2 guys in the middle.
Yeah. Okay, understood. So just for clarity, because the first question asked whether we should keep all 3 in. Yeah. No, it's absolutely fine, because this is what it's about. It's about us as a panel. So I'm just going to simplify this as the second question is just to confirm, because I think we have the numbers to do this, that we are confirming as a panel that we're going to remove Nigel. So if we could just confirm that, I'll come through you each individually. So Wendy?
Yeah, I'd remove Nigel's.
No, thank you. Obviously, I won't come to you, Nigel, for obvious reasons. Ari, you can.
Even though I have the same opinion, I feel that Nigel one is slightly too low.
Yeah.
But as to remove him, we would have to remove the top ones as well. But in this case, if we would remove Nigel, the other ones will have probably to go.
So this is just to clarify, this is just asking as a panel whether we remove Nigel's, not the others. So it's just a yes or no, please.
No.
That's fine. Thank you. Peter?
To remove.
Yeah. Alain?
I would keep Nigel.
You would keep him?
Yeah, I would keep him.
Okay. Hugh?
I'd remove.
Yeah. And Liam?
Sorry, apologies. I would remove.
Yeah. And I would as well. So that's a vote of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-2. So we've removing Nigel there, and we're going to judge at this calculated average. So Nathan, after an interesting discussion about what we're seeing in the photograph and a couple of votes of the panel, we've decided as a group to judge at this calculated average, with Nigel being removed by the panel and the 7 remaining judges taken into consideration.
Thank you. If you're all happy, then please click submit. Thank you, judges. The coordinates selected are X2147, Y1125. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company assets to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform BOTB. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.